Okay, I'd like to call this meeting to order for Board of Aldermen, Tuesday, May 27 at 6 p.m. Can I have everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? And a prayer.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
do attendance.
Okay. Yes, next item is the attendance, public speaking for the purpose of, for the budget meeting, but first we're going to do a roll call, please.
Okay. Alderman Alsop. Alderwoman Cavallo. Alderman Dorso. Alderman Hunter.
Here.
Alderman Lopez.
Here.
Oh, I didn't see him. Alderman Mosley.
Hey, Chris.
Alderwoman Martinez McCarthy.
Here.
Alderman Nugent. Alderman Rinaldi.
Here.
Alderman Rodriguez. Alderman Salvio.
Present.
Alderman Taladine. Alderwoman Weaver.
Here.
Alderwoman Zimmerman. Alderman DiGiovincarlo. We have 9 present, 6 absent.
Okay, we have 9 present, 6 absent, so we do have a quorum. And right now, this public hearing is for the purpose of providing information and receiving public comment related to the mayor's proposed fiscal year 2025-2026 budget as submitted by Paul K. Pernerowski Jr. Mr. Sheriff?
First speaker tonight from 413 Harpers Ferry Road, Paul Kondash.
Good evening, Madam Chairman, members of the board, Madam President, I apologize. I'd like to take a personal point of privilege and ask that you extend the public speaking time from 5 to 7 minutes in the light fact there's only a couple of speakers here.
I can't, sorry, that. Okay. Just,
How about now?
yes, I can hear you. Just
Okay.
to note, you have 15 minutes in your time limit.
15
And I'll give-
minutes?
Yes, and
I
I'll
don't-
give you a 1-minute warning.
I don't know that many words, I'm sorry. Good evening. As you can see, by the hundreds of people that are here tonight, the budget is a huge, huge topic.
Sorry, please state your name and your address.
Paul Kondash, 413 Harpers Ferry Road. Getting off on a rocky start here, I am.
All right, come on.
As you can see, there's not a lot of people here to speak about the budget. But that doesn't necessarily mean they don't care. It sometimes means that what they're saying is falling on deaf ears. And that's something that we need to take a look at. Are we really listening to the public? And are they telling us what we want to hear? I will tell you, as a taxpayer, I expect taxes to go up. Everything is going up. So to get a tax increase outside of revaluation is not something that's unbelievable to me. What I don't care for is the fact that we are not doing a great job of looking forward. And I'll give you some examples. We know prices are going up on everything every day, yet we still continue to use the same amount of money for street paving. I don't know how we're ever going to get caught up if every year we spend $6 million and we do a mile less. At some point, we'll be spending $6 million and only paving 22 feet if we don't look to the future and plan. It's the same thing with the water department. We know the mains are in disrepair and need work. I would much rather plan for the future and see a small tax increase now because I like to get my budget planned. I live on a meager fixed income. Okay, so a tax increase for me is quite large. But when I can plan for it in increments, like we did with the assessment, it's much easier for me to pay the bill. So if I was to pay $10 more this year, and $10 more next year, and $10 more the next year, the next year, the next year, rather than waiting for 4 or 5 years and springing that $50 or $60 amount on me, it means a lot to the people of Waterbury. I think we should gradually increase the taxes so we can continue to have the services that we deserve to have, okay? We're gonna get extra police officers. We're going from 300 to approximately 315. It costs money. I understand that. I have no problem, okay? I just don't think that we're using enough foresight in the budget. It's wonderful to come back with a number that's the same as last year or close to it, as it was the year before, as it was the year before, okay? Yet, there are some areas of the budget that we are seeing declines in, like I said, streets, water. And those are big, big numbers. I don't want to see us here looking for $2.8 million, $7.6 million, $3 million to repair water mains, to pave streets. We are looking to improve the city. Some of these streets that we're trying to get people to drive on, for example, going to Seven Angels Theater, have you been on Plank Road lately? It's been a mess for years and years and years. So you have all these things in the paper. They want to buy property. They want to improve what they have for the people of Waterbury and other people, a restaurant, a small theater, yet they're going to have to drive down Plank Road. It's kind of embarrassing, to be perfectly honest with you, to promote Seven Angels Theater, to promote the downtown theater and have to go that way. So all I am asking is that we use a little more caution in the budget and we prepare for the future, because nothing is going to get cheaper. It's only going to get more expensive and more expensive and more expensive and more expensive. So if we have a budget that's cut to the bone, the only thing that can happen is we have to come here and ask for money as a department head, because there's going to be nothing left. So please, the budget is going to get passed. The work has been done. The budget has been well presented. This board has asked pertinent questions for all the meetings. I watched every single one of them. There's nothing more to be said. All I'm asking is that we continue to look forward and not just rest on our laurels. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker from 1400 Meriden Row, Martin Spring.
Martin Spring, 1400 Meriden Road. This is the second budgetary meeting I went to, and I know this is probably something that's got on everybody's minds, and that's Amazon is coming to Waterbury. And I think pertaining to the budget, that coincides with a lot of things, because Amazon coming here, it's going to help lower the grand list.
I understand, Mr. Spring, but this is just your
Right.
input on the budget, so if you could just stick to
All
the
right.
budget.
Okay. All right, thank you, Madam Chairman. Okay. I would like to voice my opinion on a new budget for fiscal year 2025-2026. Some people say it's fair and honest, balanced budget. Others say we can do more. Nobody likes taxes, especially those living on fixed income, who struggle each and every day of their lives with many other needed expenditures, wondering when are we going to see the sunshine again. There's no easy answer for any of us, regardless of what your income may be. We have far too much government in our lives. Cutting costs and expenditures may be the answer in the near future. Case in point, why can't we itemize our expenditures, not just doing the budget transactions, but throughout the entire year? looking for any savings, large or small. Maybe we should be looking out for the possible revenues like a commuter tax, which I brought this up before, for those who work in the city of Waterbury but don't reside here, which is based on the income. My suggestion and opinion, especially for the Waterbury taxpayers, is worth thinking about. Pertaining to city-owned vehicles, why can't some employees use their own vehicles for transportation, especially when they're off the clock? To this day, no one wants to address the subject. Is it too much to ask why you can't use your own vehicle when you're returning home? Maybe it's a liability issue, I don't know. Don't get me wrong, I'm not referring to emergency department vehicles like police, fire, first responders. I realize we need this form of transportation each and every day. That's obvious. But to impose more taxes on all residents who only have some basic forms of transportation each and every day, considering many of our senior citizens who only rely on getting back and forth their needs every day for their needs. Like, for example, doctors' visits, pharmacy, grocery store, or even traveling. More taxes is not the answer. And I notice a lot of seniors that take Uber, and they use that, and they also use the bus, okay? Many folks, including my wife and I, make up a large portion of current rent payers throughout the city, wondering if the taxes go up, will our landlords raise our rents, passing the costs on us, probably. Probably then what happens to us when we become homeless, sleeping in the car. And you think about people who serve their country, and that's a slap in the face to somebody who served their country and they have to go sleep in a car. That's not right. Remember, if we are not going to be serious and grow the grand list, that's why I brought that up about Amazon, Madam Chairman, okay, which I think coincides with this, but nevertheless, I'm not going to talk about it. Okay, which in turn will lower our taxes, and then we must have some compassion for local businesses who employ many workers. Remember, they are the true backbone of the economy, especially when we deal with taxes imposed on them like fixtures or any other taxable goods or items they may have. Right now, we have many new immigrants in our city, including undocumented, living and working here with their children, attending our schools. Questions: are their parents paying our fair share of taxes? That's my question as an American citizen, and I have a right to ask that question. Far too many times, too many things, fair and all Waterbury residents find out ways to get more revenue in the city coffers, like cutting unnecessary spending, maybe going back to the Board of Education and asking them to tone down on requesting everything from A to Z, which I know they do, and it seems to go through all the time. In closing, I would like to personally thank our mayor and others who are deeply involved in the budget process, especially working on the best budget they feel, including Sarah Gary and others, and also Michael LeBlanc. I have to give him credit too. And other people working to fiscally help us if they can for fiscal year 2025, but more needs to be done. Now, I had some other stuff I wanted to say because I do have 15 minutes, and I know I'm not going to kill myself over here. Okay, I'm just saying this, that also education makes up a big portion of the city's budget through state contributions, okay? Special needs investments. Can schools simply be having these individuals stay here in town where they live and their parents and guardians work, okay? We should be able to have a building, a state-of-the-art building, with fully equipped for their special needs. And I was told if we did this, we would be saving an awful lot of money, millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars, because sending these individuals out, and believe me, my heart goes out for them and their families. But I don't know what the ages range from, probably from kindergarten up to a grammar school or maybe high school, I don't know. But if there's 18, 19 of them, and it's costing us $25, $30 million to send these people out of town, why can't they just come here? You know, we're buying all these buildings all over the city of Waterbury, and so we got the the other building over here that we're going to be having a public hearing on. Maybe we could look at that building to put that in a state of art for the handicapped children or whatever they are, special needs, okay? The exchange place. That's something I would bring up, but I'm not on the board of Aldermen. So that's what I think we should consider doing. And I had a few more things, and I appreciate everybody's indulgence. Guess what, Waterbury taxpayers? There may be tax adjustments in this year's budget for fiscal 2025, 2026. Now, I'm on the Board of Public Works. I'm not speaking for that. No, Alderman Sabio's on there, and I appreciate him being there. And we had a public hearing tonight, okay, pertaining to the water rates. And we didn't get one person to show up, so I understand what Paul's talking about. And Paul and I, by the only people here to speak tonight. Okay, remember, members of the Board of Aldermen, by district, Reeville will be at our doorstep soon, and I know it's coming down the street sooner or later. Like it or not, it's mandated by the state law every several years or 7 years. I think every few years it's mandated, including new car taxes. We also have in place long overdue, outdated union contracts that have to be dealt with, which I know we've been working on them, and other personal obligations when renewing them with caution, and I mean to use caution, okay? Also, the Waterbury residents can't have any kind of recourse, especially when it comes to new budget, other than attending a public hearing like we have been doing, or voting on the next election. We can't have any referendum in the city. We're not allowed to have it. And that's something I don't understand. We got Aldermen by district, but we can't have referendum. My sister lives in Watertown. My sister lives in Oakville. My family lives out of town, most of them, and a lot of them are veterans that serve their country, and they have referendums where they live. And I understand we're a big municipality, but I just was hoping maybe someday we could have a right to referendum. I know we tried to do that a long time ago, and that got shot down, okay? So that's something we should be looking at, and I think it's probably got to go through to charter revision. I know that the charter just went through and everything, and they did a great job. But according to our mayor and his administration, we are really at the bare bones budget with absolutely no meat on the bone to digest. And I understand what he's saying, because I always told everybody it's tough to be a mayor. It really is. It's very hard to be a mayor or governor because you get the brunt of everything. Regardless of what party you're affiliated, it doesn't matter. Anything goes wrong, they look at you. They blame you and your administration. So I'm asking all my friends in the Board of Aldermen, both Republican and Democrat, before you go ahead and vote on this budget, think about the taxpayer, think about Karen and me, think about the veterans, think about the homeless, think about people who really need the wants and the needs of the city of Waterbury. Yes, we do need services, but we don't need a big, gigantic government to satisfy our needs, okay? Many times the municipalities benefit from the American Rescue Plan Act, including Waterbury. So where did all the funds go to? And I'm not saying it mysteriously disappeared, but sometimes when we have a lot of extra money, they utilize it for different resources. And I think that's a good thing, but we should just be in the right direction when we're using that money. Again, education is the biggest obstacle around the taxpayer's neck, with absolutely, especially with no help in sight, very high-paying salaries, running rampant with out-of-control spending. And I understand that, we got superintendent of schools right now, and he's a brand-new guy, and hopefully he'll do a good job. But I just think a lot of these people, in my opinion, okay, as a layperson, I just think a lot of people are overpaid. Okay, that's my opinion. Members of the entire Board of Aldermen are truly prepared are you prepared for another recession? Like we're talking about the tariffs and everything coming down from federal government's coming down and cuts and everything. Are we really prepared for that? And are we going to be able to fund anything? Because another thing I want to say, and I'll bring this up, I really believe you guys on the Board of Aldermen, believe it or not, should get a raise. I mean, come on, you only get what, $300 a month? And, by the time you go to all the fundraisers and everything, whatever, and you got to pay your taxes, people don't know you got to pay taxes on that. So I think you guys should maybe look at giving yourselves a raise for $500. I don't know if that's in the charter or not, but I think you well deserve a raise, each and every one of you. Regardless of how you vote, I still think you take your time away from your families and friends and obligations to be here. and to listen to us. I don't want to complain, but I just think a lot of you guys do deserve a raise. I really believe that. So that's something I think you guys should consider, and maybe the budget director could consider that, Mike LeBlanc, to give the aldermen a raise. Ladies and gentlemen here, I think you guys well deserve it, okay? Okay, many city taxpayers are very frustrated with the high cost of living at every level. Why can't we control our spending habits, like monitor them if possible, okay, by line item? I know Alderman Alsop brings up a lot of stuff from the past, and I agree with him that you have a lot of stuff on your books and everything that maybe things are just antiquated. You don't need them anymore, like they were talking about a lot of boards and commissions. Okay, so maybe that's something we could look at, and maybe we could consolidate a lot of different departments in the year 2025, the year 2026, so we can place a lot of more emphasis on helping the taxpayers out and lowering the taxes. Remember, we still have a huge national debt looming over our heads, federal debt, and maybe the state debt too, each and every day. Maybe somehow, if we all work together, we can lower the high cost of government. I know the city has to stay competitive with other towns, especially when it comes to pay scales and the contracts. I understand that. If we want our current labor force to stay put here and stay in the homes here and raise a family to send their children to our schools, wouldn't that be awesome? And I think that would be great if we could give them a great incentive. If we're not going to have a commuter taxes, it's got to go.
1 minute warning.
I didn't know I went so far. Okay, anyways, that's why I brought up the commuter tax, but it's got to go through the unions and everything else. But I'm saying if we can't do that, then maybe we could turn around and give them some kind of incentive, Madam Chairman, to want to stay here and work here. So what can we do collectively as residents and our fair city gets more involved in the city government, especially with public hearings like today? Voice your opinion, and don't get shy, but be there. Don't be shy. Many American families are struggling in today's economy, wondering, can we put food on the kitchen table, basic needs, put gas in the family car, pay the mortgage, pay the rent, or become homeless, or max out their interest credit cards, which I almost did. And I don't know if you guys know about credit cards, but it's like 23, 24% interest right now. Can't afford electric bills, are going up. And I think Eversource has said they're going to lower the bills $10 a month. What's $10 a month? You got to be like $100 a month. Or renters' insurances are high. Told our children, mom and dad, they can't go on vacation this year because, I'm sorry, kids, we have no money. Finally, I understand we are obligated and committed to many new projects around the entire city, including the Exchange Place and many other buildings. The entire city, like paving roads, fixing broken, dilapidated sidewalks, antiquated, old, broken down, rusted sewers, underground pipes, which you know they've been doing, and I commend you guys for that because it costs a lot of money. As Alderman Alsop said, it's not like 25, 30 years ago. And these places, these buildings and everything, these structures are all falling apart. I know that. So also take into consideration our bond rating. It's in good shape, providing the economy stays strong, which remains to be seen. So all I can say is, in closing, let's all work together. You know, I come here all the time. I like everybody here. You're all my friends. I could care less what party you're affiliated with. I've known you people for a very long time.
That's time.
You know me, so thank you for your time. Thank you.
Next speaker from 178 Cook Street, Emma Taylor.
Emma Taylor, 178 Cook Street. I'm here to talk about the streets. It's like I don't know the exact dollar amount that you have for the street, but I do know Eversource has tore our streets up. So I'm hoping that that budget includes fixing, I live on Cook Street, and Cook Street I have broken tires, just my tire rods. I've replaced stuff that is coming out of my paycheck, on top of, you know, still having to pay taxes for my home and still having to pay the personal property tax on the car, and the streets are a mess. And they need to readdress Cook Street was beautiful until Eversource came through. So all I'm concerned about right about now, today, are the streets in Waterbury. They're horrible. They are absolutely horrible, and there's holes everywhere. And when you fall into one and you damage your car, you're responsible for it. The city is not. So that's all. I'm just trying to make sure it's like you have something in the budget to go back and fix these streets that are tore up from the floor up. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's the last speaker tonight, Madam Chairwoman.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Sheriff, and, okay, just want to remind everyone of the special meeting for the budget, Monday, June 2nd at 5:30. Does anyone have anything else for the order? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion adjourned and second. We are adjourned.
Second.